Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you have already seen this cute little face, and if you haven't, welcome to my channel. So today is actually going to be a fun one because I am going to be doing a little demo slash wear test slash first impressions review, all of that, of the new Nars Light Reflecting Foundation. Would suggest you watch this video if you are thinking about purchasing, maybe right before you purchase it. So if you want to learn more about it, let's get right into the video.
The 17, no guidance, and I've been saying low, but you know what the vibes is. It ain't never got me nowhere being modest.
Okay, so I got my little notes here on my phone, so don't judge me. But let's start off with the price. So Nars foundations have not been the cheapest in the game. So this is going to retail for $49. And it is going to be a typical 1 ounce. It's going to be a liquid formula, obviously. It has a natural finish. It is good for dullness and uneven texture, as well as it being a medium coverage, also good for redness and also good for dark spot. The reason it is supposed to be good for both dark spots and for redness is because it is supposed to be an advanced makeup slash skincare hybrid foundation, which has a natural finish that quickly blurs and smooths while visibly improving skin's clarity over time. It is going to boast to be free of parabens, formaldehydes, formaldehyde releasing agents, mineral oil, so basically a lot of things that are known to clog pores and break you out. This is going to be a cleaner alternative to that. So now that we have gone into the actual specifics of the foundation, let's talk about my first impressions. So as you'll see, I will be doing the demo afterwards, so you can see how I apply it, how I apply it. I kind of will be giving my thoughts on how it is applying and what I am noticing first offhand. But I can say, just sitting here now before we even get into it, I am not completely blown away. Okay, y'all, so I've already done my eyes. I'm just waiting to put like lashes and stuff on, but I used the Narcissist Loaded palette, which, let me just show you. So it looks like this, and I'll insert some clips, but I just used kind of this yellowy color on my brow bone and in my inner corner. I used a mix of these two colors in the middle for my crease, and then I put a little bit of this darker brown. Only thing is that dark brown was so much darker than I thought. I thought this was going to be like a daytime smoky with the lighter brown. It's a dark brown. We're going to full in tonight. Not even going to be a problem. So whatever. So I've already moisturized my face. I am going to go in with primer now. I don't have like an actual like Nars primer, but I have the old Nars Orgasm Illuminator. And this one, I've actually been using it as a primer for years. And I'm sorry, it might be about time to toss it, but I won't. But I really like the luminescence that this gives, so we're going to use it for today. Today we're going to go for a really pretty, flawless beat. Isn't that what we always go for? And that's what we always go for, but we're going to try to keep things looking really nice. Not too heavy, especially now that we have this smoky eye on, so yeah. Next I'm going to go in with my Nars Creamy Corrector in the color Medium Deep. Y'all have seen me use this in a couple other videos. I feel like it really just helps so that you don't get, like that sallowness, because you don't want your face to look like orange, but you also don't want it to look gray, so this just helps your skin just look like the way it should, the way God intended. Okay, so I have been applying my foundation with a brush, but I think I'm going to go ahead and use a beauty blender today. So I got the color. So this is the Nars foundation. I actually usually use Macao, but I felt like last time I used Macao in my other foundation, it was a tiny bit dark. So I actually got the color Caracas. Is that how you say that? How do you say that? Caracas? Caracas? I don't know. Somebody tell me how to say that. But it just looks like this. So I am going to put a pump or two on the back of my hand, and I'm going to apply this with my Real Technique sponge, which has been through some things, so don't judge me. So I do love, personally, I have been really into the My Skin But Better trend or whatever is going on right now. So I have been loving a good like medium coverage as opposed to full. The only thing is that I do happen to like a medium coverage that is able to be built up into a full coverage. I feel like it gives just a little bit more versatility with the product in itself. It is giving for sure like a medium coverage, like might even be like a light to medium coverage, because I'm not really I'm not really seeing a whole lot coverage wise. I will say the radiance in this is pretty, assuming this dries down a little bit more, because right now it just kind of looks like wet. And it's a very like, it's a very liquidy kind of foundation. I definitely have thicker textured foundations. So obviously there's only so much coverage I'm going to get while using this sponge, but I do think it's going to give me more of a radiant kind of a glow, and I want that, so it's going to be okay. Yeah, so I can kind of tell, usually I can tell the coverage of foundation by how it covers that like dark spot, this dark spots that I have. And I don't find this is really, really covering it. So it's definitely giving me a very true medium coverage. I'm not even 100% sure this is building up. I think it's pretty, but I definitely can see a lot of imperfections still. And the consistency is nice, but it's a very thin consistency. So if you typically like thicker foundations, I don't know how you're going to feel about this one. I can just notice that right off the bat. So I'm going to go in with the concealers. I used to use Nars Concealers way back in the day, and I haven't in a while, so let's just see what we got here. So I got two colors. They only had the little guys, but I got Amande and Chestnut. So I'm going to use the Amande to kind of color correct a wee bit, and then I'll go in with the Chestnut to hopefully brighten it. I remember I used to use like caramel to brighten, and that was like too bright. That was back when I went like 3-4 shades too light. So, okay, so I'm going to attempt to dry it down just a little bit. I don't know where my little fan is, y'all. Like, usually having a little fan and it works perfect, but whatever. So I'm going to dry this down just a tiny bit. And I have been using a dual fiber brush for my concealer, because I find that it just helps keep that coverage a little bit better. It is blending really well, which is nice. I do remember being able to blend like really, really nice. So it's nice that it's still blending. It's looking real good. Okay, so I did just kind of go over that with the Beauty Blender or whatever, but optional step. Okay, so let's use some powder. I'm going to use the Nars Light Reflecting Setting Powder. This is in the color Short. I have not used any Nars powders before, not that I know of, and so I'm excited to try this. Let's try this out, shall we? Okay, so if you're new here, I don't bake. I don't like the way it looks on me, so I'm going to take a little brush, tap it. It's got like a little cushiony thing on there, so I'm just going to tap it in here, tap it off, and then that, although it says light reflecting, it feels like it really just mattified that, which is like good and bad. Smells kind of weird though. Smells like a cookie or something. I don't know, it's odd. Popcorn or something? I don't know what that smells like. Alright, so now I haven't set the rest of my face, so I do want to kind of like check back in later and see what that's looking like. But next I'm going to go in with my blush. This is actually a Nars blush stick, which is also a little bit older, and this is in the color G-Spot. And I am just going to take that on a brush here. I'm going to add a little color here. The nice thing about these blush sticks are that they go over powder really well, so you don't have to worry about them moving around the base underneath. So this is literally just adding tiniest flush of color. Next I'm going to highlight. I'm actually going to use the Nars Orgasm Illuminating Loose Powder, and I'm going to use tiniest of amounts because I'm going to take whatever's in the cap, use a little bit, and tap it off because this can get like real bright. And I'm going to softly just, like, you see that? Really pretty. Pretty. So I actually don't have a bronzer from Nars because frankly I don't think they make them dark enough, but so off camera I am just going to bronze a little bit with a different bronzer. Okay, so now that I have the full face on, I didn't put any like setting powder or setting spray on my actual face because I want to kind of see how the transfer and actual wearability of this goes. So I'm going to end up checking back in a few hours and we'll see what it's looking like. But first I'm going to do lips too that are also going to be my Nars products. So this is going to be actually an eyeliner. This is the High Pigment Longwear Eyeliner in the color Mambo. And it's actually dark brown, and I wanted to use it like a lip liner because I didn't see a dark brown lip liner. Okay, so I always blend my lip liner. I never just like leave a line around my mouth. I don't like the way that looks on me. And then the lip gloss I'm going to go in with is called Nympho. Oh, Nars and their risque names. And it's called Nympho, and it's actually like a taupey. It's like a taupey color. Like this, and we're just going to put this over top. Look ended up being a lot darker than I thought it was going to be, but it helps with the gloss. It's so milky, so then it kind of tones down that lip liner. Okay, so I'm going to do my hair and everything. I'll be right back, and then I'll give you kind of like a mod shot video kind of a thing of what the face looks like, and then I will come back in a few hours, so give me 1 sec.
Got it, flaunt it, boy, I know you want it. While I turn around, you watch me check it. Oh, you watching me shake it. I can see it in your face, can't take it. It's blazing, but watch me hit it.
So I'm going to end up doing, like I said, that wear test. So we are going to see how the rest of it wears over the course of the day. Currently it is about, I don't know if you can see this, but currently it's about 2:12 p.m. So let's check back in a couple hours, at least like 2 or 3, and then we will see what it's looking like. All right, y'all. So believe it or not, it has been about 3 hours, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, a little bit more than 3 hours. So right now I'm just kind of doing like a close-up and looking at my skin. There's any like separation, how I feel like the coverage has been. Do I feel like the texture has changed? Because a lot of the times it'll start off one way and then hours later oils and things will shine through, it'll kind of wear off, and then it'll look completely different. So this one I have noticed that I do think personally, I don't know if you can tell, but I think personally I am a little bit shinier than when I left like 3 hours ago. I mean, overall it's fine. I don't know. You know what's crazy is I'm usually so obsessed with Nars foundation. I'm not crazy about this one. I like the finish. I do think the finish looks really natural, but like even with, I don't know, y'all. Like I am not sold on it. I can't even lie. I feel like I do still see kind of some imperfections. I feel like, and I put on quite a few layers of it. I don't want the whole cake face. Like that's not how I'm going to go about my everyday life. So maybe it's just where I'm at in life. But I don't know, y'all. She's cute. But I think even on a day that you need to just like put something on, leave the house really quick, I feel like there are better alternatives for something with just a tiny bit more coverage. I do think, yes, the fact that it is a little bit better for your skin is appealing in itself. But overall, I don't know. I would pass on this. For $50, I would pass. If you want something that gives you just a little bit more of like that glowy look and like a better one, I'm just going to put up somewhere around here a different foundation that I personally have been obsessing over and that just works better in my opinion. But this one, I don't know, I would pass.